process?
The board asked our board, which is made up of the 5 county supervisors, there's 4 City of LA appointees that the mayor appoints, Mayor City of LA, and we have 4 representatives from the independent cities throughout the county. What they have asked us to do is to contact the private sector to look at whether or not there's a project delivery method, i.e. a public-private partnership, that we can accelerate our Sepulveda Pass project. When voters passed Measure R in 2008, there was a schedule of projects and when they would be delivered. Our board adopted that schedule into our long-range transportation plan. So I don't want to get argumentative with
No. We know what Measure R said. It's just, and we know that it's kind of a rush to spend the money that's there otherwise. But again, it's to spend any money on something that's not going to be long-term, have a great long-term effect is. And anyway, so I guess what you answer the question in a yes or no is that the community comes out and says, don't do this project, save the money and don't do the tunnel project. It doesn't matter because you got to spend the money in Measure R.
No, it would be a vote of the Metro Board. So we're staff, we've been directed by our board. What Greenie was trying to say is the board sets the policy, we're directed to implement it. So we will take your views back, we will share them as part of the study when things go before the board, and it is the board's decision if they want to move the projects around.
Okay. Okay, hold on, we have a whole bunch of other questions, so let's...
Oh wow, they're all flooding in now.
Yeah. Okay, here's a question, there's not a name on it, so looking at the whole audience. How will you turn the light rail around at Van Nuys and Ventura? How much such space do you use for a turnaround?
That's something that we're going to have to look at as we get more into the study as to how we're going to do the turnaround.
But most of our rail doesn't turn around, it has crossover tracks. So when it comes into the end, it pulls over to the other track and goes back the other way. So my guess is it wouldn't be technically a turnaround.
Okay, Bob Anderson, actually I already asked Bob Anderson a question, so you'll get a second chance if we have time, Bob. Myrna W., are you here? There you go, thank you. I live 2 blocks west of Van Nuys Boulevard. I can hardly get in and out of Otsego now. I vote for Sepulveda.
Thank you, so noted.
Samantha comment.
Harlan Peterson, there you go. Many of the streets in the South San Fernando Valley are deteriorating due to very heavy traffic, especially sections of Ventura Boulevard and Coldwater Canyon. It's lack of attention due to lack of money, primarily and/or lack of workforce and/or both, or what?
The City of LA owns and operates the streets, we don't.
Okay. However, let me just do a follow-up question to that. MTA, which is your group, uses your big buses and you tear up Ventura Boulevard. You're doing another study. Okay, they're doing another study.
As a part of the funds that come to our agencies, the propositions AC and Measure R, that money goes back to the cities for them to spend, including spending it on streets where buses run.
Okay. So next time there's a proposition as far as more money to spend, we can do some more reports, more studies. Thank you. All right.
How much does the City of LA get from Club A, CNR altogether? The city gets a lot.
They get a lot. Okay.
The city's 41%.
The city's 41% of LA County by population. If Measure R is generating, I don't know about NC, but if Measure R is generating roughly about $1 billion a year, so
well,
that's.
If we get 41%, look at some of our busy traffic streets, like you're saying, Van Nuys, Sepulveda, Ventura Boulevard, and drive down those some of these times. Yeah, we're not getting the money spent in those neighborhoods.
But the city chooses how to spend the money within the regulations.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mary Ann Neal. Right here. Will the plan cross to Ventura Boulevard on the south side? Will any plan destroy buildings along the corridor that you're referring to? I guess Van Nuys or Sepulveda. Will any of the plans impede foot or car traffic on Ventura Boulevard or Van Nuys Boulevard?
Great question, and those are things we'll look at in the study.
Another study.
Part of.
Part of the study.
Part of this current study. It's all part of the study.
Frustrating. Dino in the back. How is parking going to be available? You bring all these people to Ventura Boulevard. If it's street parking, are you going to change the meters from the current 1 hour or 2 hours to 10-hour meters?
Parking is something that, as part of this study, we're going to be looking at, and whether or not we need parking line lots, no parking line lots, etc. So parking is a very key component of this.
Okay, so there's going to be a study on
It's part of
the study. Okay, not another study.
No.
That's another proposition. More money for that. No. Okay. It's already money. Oh, it's on. Ira, are you here? Ira wants to know where you two live. He says, obviously not in Sherman Oaks. Not in LA?
I used to live in LA, and now I live up in Philadelphia.
No, is it in is it in the county? Are you in the county? Okay, I don't know Valencia. All I know is Sherman Oaks.
Broaden your horizons.
I met my husband in Sherman Oaks.
Oh, that's it.
Why didn't you stay?
Wilma, do you want me to ask your question? Okay. It recently took Wilma's right over there behind the pole, 20 minutes to travel along Burbank toward the 405 during rush hour. Is the city or the county considering new configurations of busy streets such as overpasses to accommodate the added traffic a rapid transit system will impose on local neighborhoods?
Take care of it. We're going to look at it in the study.
Yeah, we're gonna look at grades. I think Rini said we are gonna look at grade separations as a part of this analysis.
That'll be looked into the study?
As part of.
Oh, it's part of the study.
You getting a theme here?
Hey, can I ask you a question, Richard?
Yeah, no.
I was thinking something. The other day, I took my bicycle and I drove all the way down the Orange Line from Fulton, and I rode my bicycle all the way down to Topanga. I had a nice dinner out there, and then rode the bus back. I did not. But while I was on the bus, it's the first time I took the Orange Line, and I was very impressed by it. There was actually a few people on the bus, and I was impressed by the whole system. And I wanted to actually ride it, and I wanted to get some exercise. But something struck me as odd, is that these buses that are going at these nice clips have to stop every intersection. Why not have a little remote control on the buses so that the lights are timed, so that the buses can go, they're going to?
There are.
Part of the study?
No.
Another study.
The existing Orange Line now, one of the issues that we have with any of our routes that run is grade, and it's a trade-off, and again, we negotiate with, I told you City of LA was part of this. They control the streets, they control the street signals, and again, it's a question of how much priority are you going to give to the transit, to the cars, to the traffic moving in this direction versus that direction, and it's all a trade-off.
Okay. Karen Perrick-Gannon, there you go. Is anyone from Sherman Oaks or the Valley on your board?
Richard Katz, former assemblyman from the Valley, is one of Mayor Villaraigosa's appointees to our board, and Mel Wilson, who's a realtor from Northridge, is on our board. And Zeb Yaroslavsky is on our board, and Hugo Farno.
He doesn't live in the Valley. He doesn't live in the Valley.
That's true, he doesn't.
Ron Winter, Ron, in the back. What happens to commercial businesses along Van Nuys Boulevard? In the study, it'll be research in the study.
As part of.
As part of the study. Chuck Betts, the new buses need 2 axles in the back to carry the weight of the engines. On Ventura, they create ruts in 100 days, which don't go away.
You should see me.
Oh, 100 degrees. 100 degrees. Oh, 100 degrees weather that don't go away.
LA City.
LA City. She already answered that question, Chuck. Marshall Long. Will the Van Nuys corridor reduce the traffic? Will the Van Nuys corridor reduce the traffic able to use the streets?
What do you think the answer is?
The answer
No,
is yes.
and actually, let me phrase it a little different, because I think that's one of the serious questions. Both bus and light rail, you're going to have dedicated lanes, is that correct? That's the proposal that's being studied, is that correct?
Yeah, we're looking at some mixed flow.
So, by definition,
Yes.
the area of Van Nuys Boulevard or Sepulveda available for cars will be reduced significantly. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you get the gist, it's going to be narrower and have less capacity, whether it's Van Nuys or Sepulveda.
And we'll pull up the thing in the study. We will be looking at the traffic impacts of the dedicated lanes, both east-west and what we will do to Van Nuys Boulevard. As part of our board has adopted grade separation policy, which looks to say as what are the traffic impacts do we need to go over. And so these are things that we will be looking at as what is the impact, and if there is a major if, then how do we mitigate it?
Okay. That is going to be the major impact in Sherman Oaks, reducing the number of lanes on the two streets.